All right, so we are recording. So welcome everyone to the 2026 USA Games. Congratulations, everyone. Good to see everyone. Tonight we have our Team Pennsylvania kickoff. So I'll just cover some of the topics that we have before we jump right into it. So tonight we do have a pretty packed agenda. Tonight we have um, Nate Garland will kick us off in a little bit to welcome everyone and congratulate everyone for this amazing opportunity that we all have in front of us. We'll talk about the Team PA logo, so you can see what the logo is going to look like. That will be representing Team Pennsylvania. And then I'll talk a little bit about Team PA, who's on our team, who are the coaches, the athletes, the teams that are attending. I'll briefly just talk about some of the Team PA expectations, what's required of you as athletes, families, and coaches. I have some information about training camp, but there'll be more to come on training camp as we get a little closer. I'll share with you some of the event logistics, things that are happening in Minnesota where the events and games are going to be held. And then we'll talk about the campaign to help us fundraise some money for USA Games. We do have a listing of some resources that are available to all of us, whether it's social media or web pages and that sort of thing. And then at the end, we'll go into breakout rooms. That'll give us an opportunity to all get to know each other a little bit better. We have breakout rooms set up for each of the sports and coaches to go into, but more to come on that. So that is tonight's agenda. Again, we do have a full agenda. For those that just joined, if you could remain muted until we get to the end, that would be fantastic. So without further ado, I would love to turn it over to Nate Garland, who is the Chief Operating Officer for SOPA, to welcome everyone.
Good evening, Team Pennsylvania. I know your lines are muted, but let me see your hands in the air. Let me see a little bit of excitement. Yeah, all right, all right. On behalf of Matt Aaron, our CEO, who had a prior obligation and couldn't be here tonight, I want to welcome you to Team PA. Tonight marks the beginning of something truly special, right? Each one of you been selected to represent our state, the great state of Pennsylvania, one of the biggest stages of the world, the 2026 USA Games. And before we dive in, I want to share a little bit of a quote. I recall I had joined the organization just about 4 years ago, and there was a similar moment. And we were doing a meeting similar, and it was March and March Madness. And while it's not March, I still think this is one of the greatest quotes ever by one of the greatest quotes ever, coaches ever. And I think it so symbolizes the journey that we're starting today. If you do remember the legendary coach Jim Valvano, he said, and I quote, "If you laugh, you think, and you cry every day, that's a full day, and that's a full life." I can promise you over the next 18 months, as a part of Team PA, you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to laugh with excitement about the journey we're about to go on. We're going to test you. You're going to have to think. You're going to be pushed to limits that you haven't experienced before. And yes, there are going to be some tears, but I'm pretty sure there are going to be a lot of happy tears along the way. And that's what this journey is all about, growing as athletes, as teammates, as leaders, and as the proud, kind of unified heart of Pennsylvania. To be chosen to be part of this team is more than just an honor. As Bruce said, we're going to talk about some things later in this presentation, but it's not just an honor, it's a responsibility. You're not just competing, you're representing all the athletes in Special Olympics Pennsylvania, and those who are still on the sidelines waiting for their chance. You're ambassadors of excellence, inclusion, perseverance, and heart. The USA Games are more than just medals, and they're really nice medals. They're really big, nice medals that we're going to be trying to get, right? It's about showing the world what you guys can do, right? What we as athletes and the Special Olympics movement can prove that teamwork and dedication and belief in yourself can take you anywhere. That's what this is all about. So from tonight forward, your commitment begins. The USA Games will be won not on the field, but in the practices you show up for, the healthy choices you're going to make, the determination you bring, even on the tough days. This is your time tonight. You're going to meet your coaches. You're going to start to set goals, personal bests in fitness. You're going to talk about leadership, sportsmanship. To our coaches and families, your support will shape this journey. Thank you for everything you do. Your athletes wouldn't be here tonight if it wasn't for all the effort you put in the carpools, the training sessions, and of course the cheering from the stands, standing in the rain, and maybe waiting on a bus at summer games forever, it seems like sometimes. We appreciate you more than you know. Athletes, over the next 18 months, your story becomes our story. We're going to talk later about social media and how we leverage this opportunity to share with the great state of Pennsylvania. Your training videos, how you show off your team spirit, post your progress, let people in your schools, your workplace, your communities know that you're chasing something big, and invite them along for the journey here because you're not just training for gold, you're building awareness, you're opening the door for the next athlete who's watching from the sidelines, wondering if they might someday get the opportunity to go to USA Games. You're showing them that the answer is yes. Every time you wear your Team PA gear, and you're going to get some, you're going to get a lot of Team PA gear. You're representing every region, not just the one you're at. You're representing every athlete, the athlete who lives in Erie, Pennsylvania, the athlete who lives in Philly, Pennsylvania, the athlete who lives in Scranton, from the smallest county to the biggest city. You carry the pride of our entire state. So make sure, starting tonight, we show up with heart. We represent pride, we celebrate each other, and we commit to making Team PA not just the best team, not just the most united, most respectful team, but the most inspirational team at the 26 USA Games, and that starts tonight. So this is your moment. Let's have some fun tonight. This is our moment. Over the next 18 months, we're going to push ourselves harder than we pushed before. You're going to make lifelong friends. These will be some of the moments you'll never forget. You're going to show the world what inclusion and determination and heart really look like. And you'll represent every athlete in Pennsylvania and every athlete still waiting on the sidelines for their chance. And just like Coach Jimmy V said, you're going to laugh, you're going to think, and you're definitely going to cry because that's what it means to live this full journey. And that's exactly what Team PA is going to do. So let's make a promise to each other tonight to train hard, to support each other, and to lead with pride, to represent with everything we got. So one more time, hands in the air. Let's go, Team PA. Bruce, back to you.
Let's go, Team PA. I love it, Nate. Thanks for that. I appreciate the inspirational words. I'm sure everyone on this call really loved it too. I hope everyone enjoyed the selection show about a month ago. That was just an incredible, tear-jerking experience that I hope everyone enjoyed. So those are some of the happy tears that Nate talked about earlier. So it was a great night, an incredible experience for us to witness. So what does Team Pennsylvania? What is I want to do a little unveiling here. So I'm going to turn it over to one of my colleagues who can introduce herself. Um, Haley, I would love to turn it over to you. If I can get my screen working here. There we go.
Thanks, Bruce. Hi, everyone. I am here tonight to talk about the Team PA logo and brand. We did something new this year. So in the past, we've kind of put logos together, but not really tried to build a brand that was super tied to Pennsylvania. So super excited that the marketing team worked together and really used different milestones, landmarks, etc. around Pennsylvania, and honestly really leaned into our history because I'm sure as many of you know, in 2026, that is the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, and a lot of the formation of the country took place right in Pennsylvania. So we really wanted to celebrate that Pennsylvania is one of the first states and really held a lot of history when it comes to how America was formed. So first, the colors for this year's uniforms are from the Pennsylvania flag. So depicted here, you can see the blue, gold, and white. So we will be leaning into our flag and walking in, and hopefully moving forward, everyone will be able to see like our colors and say, oh, that's Pennsylvania, we know them. Bruce, next slide. And then a drum roll for the actual logo reveal. Bruce, I think we can skip this part.
Doesn't look like it's working. It worked for a bunch of times today.
This
I'll
is
do the drum
our
roll.
yes, there you go. So this is our official Team Pennsylvania logo. So like we said, it has the colors of the white, the blue, and the gold. And then you'll see first that the font is a colonial era font. So looking back to that 250th anniversary. And then the main icon that kind of replaces the A in Team PA is the Liberty Bell, which was forged in Pennsylvania and is a national symbol of freedom. So the bell represents more than just independence. Throughout our history as a country, it has really served as a symbol for those fighting for equality and inclusion. So there's really no better symbol for all of you who are going to be journeying to Minnesota than to represent a modern version of what inclusion looks like. And then around the bell, you'll see some stars, which go back to Betsy Ross and the original flag that we had for the country. Aside from this logo, we've got some secondary logos and word marks. So Bruce, you can go to the next slide. So this is our Team Pennsylvania word mark. So on all of your uniforms, we'll have this across your chest. And you can see the small change in the bell here is that we've incorporated the Special Olympics icon as the ringer of the bell. And then, yes, thanks, Bruce. So some other symbols that are famous to Pennsylvania, we've got the key and the flag from Ben Franklin. So you can see we've got one logo with the kite and key, and you can see a lightning bolt inscribed in the side of the P. And then actually in the key itself is the outline of Pennsylvania right in the handle. And then in the key face is actually the symbol of the Capitol building. And then the other logo down on the lower right side of your screen is actually the Declaration of Independence. So a lot of hidden symbols. We tried to take some care and, pay tribute to our history as a state. Thanks, Bruce. So I hope everyone's excited about that, and we'll have some cool uniforms to unveil at a later date, I'm sure. So thank you.
Love it. Thanks, Haley. Let's put our hands in the air. Congratulations, Haley and team, for putting together our logos that we're looking forward to wearing on our uniforms. Oh, a couple more. Sorry, I just had to let a couple more folks in. All right, so who is Team PA? I did not introduce myself earlier, purposely. My name is Bruce Bach. I'm the Senior Competition Director for Special Olympics Pennsylvania, and I am also the head of delegation for 2026 USA Games Team Pennsylvania. I'm going to turn it over to Jessie to introduce herself, and we'll each unmute, and then we'll introduce each other. Go ahead, Jessie.
Thanks, Bruce. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessie Merkel. I think I know a good bit of people on here, which I love, but I'm very excited to meet the rest of you if we haven't crossed paths yet. I'm currently serving as the regional sport director in the Three Rivers region over in Pittsburgh. As Bruce said, I'm going to be one of the assistant HODs for this trip, and I'm super, super excited to be a part of Team PA. So I look forward to seeing all of you at training camp and going on this adventure with all of you. So thank you very much for having me as a part of your team as well.
Thanks, Jessie. Bryn?
Hi everyone. Sorry, I'm in the car, but I'm Bryn. I am the assistant HOD alongside Jessie, and I serve as the regional sport director for the Greater Philly area. I am so excited to be on this journey. I've never experienced USA Games, like I'm sure a lot of you haven't. So seeing some familiar faces, some new faces, and all smiles is just really, really awesome. And my main focus will be around uniforms. So I'll be working with Haley and her team to make some really, really cool uniforms for you all. So we can look the best in the United States. So just super excited for this journey with all of you.
Thank you, Bren. I'm going to see if Jamie, are you able to speak? I know you were at football practice earlier.
Hey, Bruce. Yeah, I'm here. Hi, how are you, everybody? My name is Jamie Galdieri. I apologize for the background noise. I'm at football practice right now, but I'll be one of the athletic trainers traveling with us to Minnesota, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to working with all you and taking care of all you guys. So thank you for having me, Bruce.
Awesome. Thanks, Jamie. And I know I saw Ellen on here.
Thanks, Bruce. My name's Ellen Payne. I am an athletic trainer in the Bethlehem, Lehigh Valley area. And I work with the Winter Games as a medical coordinator. So super excited to move on to some warmer weather activities with you all. And said, look forward to meeting everybody and hopefully not actually treating anybody, but hanging out and having fun.
Nice. Thanks, Ellen. Appreciate that. So Team PA, we have right now currently on our team as far as athletes and unified partners, we have 91 athletes and unified partners that are going to consist of Team PA that are going to compete in Minnesota in 2026. We currently have 26 coaches, which includes the individual sports as well as the team coaches. And we will be participating in 11 sports. So let's meet our coaches. So I'm going to go right down the order here. So hopefully most of the coaches are on here. Tell us a little about yourself. Introduce yourself, what team you're coaching. Tell us maybe a little fun fact about yourself. So Tom, hopefully you can get us kicked off.
Hello, I'm here. I'm Tom Delaney. I'm a coach in Bucks County. I was at the National Games last time in Florida, and I'm looking forward to having fun with these new athletes.
All right, thanks, Tom. Let's turn it over to Penn Ridge in that packed house. Angela.
Hi, I'm Angela James. I am currently I'm currently the coach for Penn Ridge High School for bocce and track.
And I'm John Altmeyer. Sorry, I've been involved in Special Olympics since 2016.
And you have the rest of your Penn Ridge crew there with you, huh? That is awesome. Good to see. Good team camaraderie there. All right, thanks, Angela and John. I want to turn it over to our basketball team. Scott?
I'm Scott Grayson, and representing the Beaver County Three Rivers region. And looking forward to this.
And then your assistant coaches will be Wendy and Craig?
Yep, Wendy's
They're
on
tonight.
I don't know if Craig is.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm Wendy, and I've been with Beaver County for a number of years, probably 15 years, I think. So
Awesome.
excited about the trip.
Terry, do you happen to be on? I know you were running a little late. All right, so Terry Walsh will be our bocce coach.
I'm sorry,
She
Bruce. I'm here. I was still on
Hey, Terry,
mute.
there you go.
I was talking. I was on mute the whole time. My name is Terry Welsh. I am the bocce coach for Philadelphia, and I've been coaching for, I don't know, 700-800 years by now. I don't know. That's just what it feels like. Looking forward to taking one of my Philadelphia teams with us to Minnesota, as well as our other team from Mid-State. Very excited. And anybody who sees me holding up my phone, I have a bowling athlete who couldn't get online. We're FaceTiming, so she can see the presentation.
Nice. Thank you, Terry. That was awesome. All
Bruce,
right,
real quick, Craig is also on from Beaver County. If we're gonna give him
okay,
a
good.
Can you hear me? Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah,
yes,
we can hear you.
Craig Mamone. I've been involved with Special Olympics probably for like 12 years. Coached. I'm glad to participate in the nationals with basketball, coaching the 5v5 in basketball. Also coached winter games for about 12 years, skiing, alpine, and did some also coaching with soccer a while ago. Happy to be aboard. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Craig. Really appreciate it. Let's turn it over to bowling. Christine, David?
I know that David is only listening tonight, but as I said, I'm Chris. I go by Chris. And I started coaching swimming was my first thing probably in like 2003. And since then I've evolved to coach something each season, pretty much. And we were one of the first ones that changed from floor hockey to, to the actual floorball.
Nice. Thank you. And welcome, David, too. Thank you for hopping on tonight. Let's turn it over to Glenn in Northampton Flag Football.
Hi, I'm Glenn Watchorn. It's Team Northampton. I'm excited to share this opportunity with our Team Northampton athletes. Assistant coaches Amanda Seacrest and Brendan Burton are both on.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm really proud of our kids, and I can't wait to go. This is my first time in 26 years ever doing this, so I'm really excited.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Brendan. Yeah, I really am looking forward to seeing the whole team there together and seeing all the memories made between the athletes.
Hello.
Oh, all right. Let's go over to Goff and Mark.
Thanks, Bruce. Hi, everybody. I'm Mark McCary. I will be the golf coach for Team PA in Minnesota. I've been volunteering with Special Olympics locally in the Washington Green County regions. A lot of familiar faces on the call tonight, and also the Top Golf season that takes place in the winter months. But really looking forward to heading to Minnesota with everyone. I think I have 4 athletes, and really looking forward to getting to know everyone in the coming months, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you for the opportunity.
Great. Thanks, Mark. All right. Nelson, powerlifting.
I'm Nelson, Team Adams, go Team Adams, small county. I coach multiple sports. I'm pretty much the utility person for the county. Whatever they need done, usually I'm there to help out. So looking forward to the opportunity. It'll be my first time at USA Games, and can't wait to see the grand scale of the opening ceremonies.
Thanks, Nelson. All right, let's hear from our soccer coaches. Mackenzie. Mackenzie, Bradley, or Christy on?
Yeah, I am on. Hi, I'm Brad Day. Super excited to be in front of everybody. I coach multiple sports with Special Olympics. Looking forward to taking our soccer team out. Fun fact for everyone, this is the second time in a row that our soccer team got selected to represent at the USA Games. Last time we went, we took home the gold, and we're going to do it again.
Nice. How about Christy or Mackenzie? Either of you on?
Christy's on.
Christy.
I'm helping out with the soccer team from Three Rivers region. I've been coaching for 40 years, and I just got back from World Winter Games in Italy.
Nice. And what experience that must have been for you.
Oh, it was.
All right, let's hear from Samantha and our softball coaches.
Hi, I'm Samantha. I've been coaching softball for 5 years now. So, and I was also an athlete. Rob, you can go next. Go ahead, Rob.
I'm Rob Warner. Sorry, I'm gonna back up so you can see me. Been involved in the Special Olympics now since '97. I started out as an athlete, became a coach 4 years ago. I went to World Games with our volleyball back in 2019. I've been looking forward to having these athletes we have today be able to go to the USA games and had that experience. There's Brad.
I'm Brad Marr. I've been coaching. I was an athlete first, and then I became a coach, and I just enjoy doing this.
All right, thanks, softball. Do you have your team with you tonight? Looks like a packed house where you guys are at.
Yeah, we have all of them. We have everybody but like 3 athletes, I think, that weren't able to make it.
All right, that's awesome. Good to see everyone there. Next up is swimming. Our head swimming coach name is Ann Phillips. She is unable to join us this evening. Volleyball, turn it over to Jessica and team.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I will be representing and coaching for the volleyball team from the Ridge and Valley region, Team Franklin, and I will be having John Cleansing and my daughter Tiara assisting me.
Great. Thank you, Jessica. Really appreciate that. So if you heard from our coaches, you can see that there's coaches that have a lot of experience, some coaches that have been coaching for 3, 4, 5 years. Some of the coaches have been to USA Games, and Christy with being at World Games. So we're lucky to have that experience of coaches that have been there before, and we have some fresh new coaches that are in the mix too. So you can see that we have a variety of coaches that will be coaching Team Pennsylvania. So thanks everyone. Thanks coaches for all that you do. I'm looking forward to working with you over the next 18 months here as we move forward with Team Pennsylvania. Some team expectations I want to cover on the next couple of slides here. We want to make sure, coaches and athletes, that you are communicating with each other at least every 2 weeks. Just some check-ins, making sure that you're training, seeing if you have any questions or anything like that. You'll be getting numerous emails from myself and other HODs and coaches. So be on the lookout for some of those emails that are coming through. I mean, looking at the turnout tonight, looks like you are reading your emails and following instructions and things like that. So super excited about that. And hopefully there's no issues with communications or anything like that. We do have these meetings set up just to talk about what's coming down the pike and timelines and things like that. But in the meantime, if you should have any questions, whether it's a coach, athlete, unified partner, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to myself, Jesse or Bryn, as well as your head coach. Head coaches, if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to reach out to myself, Jesse, or Bryn as well. The training over the next 18 months is really going to be a collaborative experience. Obviously, the coaches that the athletes have are not necessarily their home coaches. So there will need to be some collaborations between the athletes' home coaches as well as their Team USA coaches. So hopefully, we want to make sure that there's training going on for the next 18 months. Your coaches and your head coaches are working collaboratively. 18 months is pretty far out, but it'll be here before you know it. So we do want to make sure that you are training year round in your particular sport. We want to make sure that you are trained and ready to go to represent Team Pennsylvania at the USA Games. So your coaches will be meeting with you a little bit later on. We'll have some coaches meetings with further instructions on coaching and what the coaching experience looks like to give the coaches some tips on coaching and everything like that that's going into Team Pennsylvania. Sorry, I know there's some things piling up in the chat, so I'll make sure that we answer the chat. So as far as being on Team Pennsylvania, we want to make sure, like Nate mentioned earlier, that this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for many of us that haven't had the opportunity to go there. And we are representing not only ourselves, Team Pennsylvania, but we're also representing all the athletes of Special Olympics Pennsylvania. So we want to make sure that we're adhering to this SOPA code of conduct at all times, which I know that we all will be doing, but just as a reminder there. Some mandatory things that are coming up and expectations that we expect of our athletes and coaches is the Team PA training camp which I'll talk about in the next couple of slides here, which will be August of 2025. We'll have a Team PA send-off, which will be in June 2026, obviously right before we head to USA Games in June of 2026. So more to come on those couple of items there. One thing I shared with everyone probably maybe a week or two ago, USA Games is requesting that each of us send in a profile. It's just a couple questions that they ask. Really, it's your name, what program you're from, interesting facts that you may have about yourself, and they also ask for a picture. Hopefully that we can all get on that sooner than later. I like to do things rather quickly to make sure that we get all of our information in. So maybe we'll have a little contest here of everyone who's completed the USA Games profile. I'm looking to do that by Sunday, April 27th. So I did drop the link in here. I will be sending out a follow-up email with the recording of this and the PDF of the slide deck that you can share with folks. But within this document, I'll also put the USA Games profile link again if you do not have that. But really hoping that we can really have a strong showing of Team PA. Love to see 100% of us completing the games profile. So I do get emails when folks do that. So that way we can keep track, and I'll keep bugging you. Hey, let's get your profile in. Looking to get 100% representation from Team PA. Not only does
I
USA
don't see it on the
Games.
video.
Whoops,
Are you on
sorry,
the video,
Tom.
Janelle?
Sorry about that. I was just meeting a couple folks there. USA Games will be using this for storytelling, but more importantly, we have the opportunity within Pennsylvania to work with Haley and the marketing team to create some really interesting stories for our athletes, promote our athletes. Just a wonderful opportunity there. Again, this could result in nationwide, statewide publicity. So really hoping that we can really focus on getting our games profile by Sunday, April 27th. The link is in there. So when I share this out, you'll be able to click on the link and go directly to the games profile. I know there's been a couple questions if you can edit your games profile once you submitted it. I'm still waiting to get an answer back from the point of contact that I have that's overseeing the games profile to see how you edit that. I know a couple folks did not put their photos attached, so I do know I have a couple emails that I do need to get back to a couple of you about editing your games profile. So as soon as I hear back from USA Games, I will reach directly back out to you, let you know how you can edit your bio.
Bruce, there's a question in the chat. Are the profiles for coaches and unified partners as well, or just the athletes?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's for everyone that's part of Team Pennsylvania. So that includes athletes, unified partners, coaches, HODs, medical. So everyone part of Team PA, they'd really like to get profiles for that. Was there anything else related in the chat to that? Okay. All right, training camp, did share this information out earlier. Training camp is going to be held at Messiah University out in Mechanicsburg on Saturday, August 2nd and Sunday, August 3rd. We'll be checking in on Saturday, August 2nd by 11:30 a.m. And we will be checking out on Sunday, August 3rd by 1 o'clock. We will be serving lunch upon arrival on that Saturday, so you don't have to worry about when you're traveling to Messiah University about stopping on the way out to eat lunch. We will be serving lunch upon arrival. Also, on Sunday when we leave, we'll also be serving lunch. All the meals will be on campus in their dining hall. It is all you can eat, which I loved. I personally like that, but it's all you can eat. And we will be staying in air conditioning dorms, but more to come on training camp. I'll go more extensively into training camp in our June meeting, which is right before training camp. So I'll be able to share like the itinerary. We're also going to be working with the coaches on the transportation, how we're all getting there. So coaches, be on the lookout for that. We'll work with you, work with the teams to try to figure out what our transportation model will look like. So more to come on training camp. Hopefully you have that in your calendar for Saturday, August 2nd and Sunday, August 3rd. We will be doing some team photos and trying on uniforms, some team practices. I'm just trying to create a fun and unique experience for all the athletes and unified partners and coaches. A couple USA Games logistics. If you haven't seen any of the Facebook posts or anything for USA Games, USA Games will take place in 2026, so not 2025. We are 18 months out. So USA Games will be Saturday, June 20th until Friday, June 26th. Again, it'll be held on the campus of University of Minnesota. We will be staying in the dormitories at the university. This year's USA Games will comprise of over 3,000 athletes and 1,500 coaches from each of the 50 states in 16 Special Olympic sports. We are representing 11 of those 16 sports. So most of the sports that we are engaged in there. We do look to depart on June 19th, which is the day before arrival and opening ceremony. So June 19th is the day that we will depart. We do not have any flight information or what airport we will be departing from, but we will be working on that. We have to get all the information to USA Games by October, so we look to book that closer to September, October for our transportation to USA Games. And then on June 20th, the day after we arrive, will be opening ceremonies, followed by the actual competition June 21st to the 26th. On June 26th, we will be doing closing ceremonies, and then we will depart on June 27th. So that essentially outlines the itinerary of the game. So we need to make sure that we're available from June 19th until June 27th. Sport venues, they are mostly on University of Minnesota and one other facility that is close to the University of Minnesota. At the actual university, athletics, basketball, bocce, powerlifting, swimming, and volleyball will be held at the university, followed by bowling, flag football, golf, soccer, and softball, which will be held at the National Sports Center, which is close to the University of Minnesota. So is there any, you know what, I'm just going to wait to check the chat for any questions. So I'm going to turn it over to Nate Garland again and Andrew Fee, who's the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships with Special Olympics Pennsylvania, to talk about the upcoming campaign.
Thanks, Bruce. Before we really kind of dive into the details and Andrew talks a little bit about fundraising, I want to go back to kind of my opening statement and reflect what it really means to be a part of the team. You know, it obviously it's not just an honor, and I can see the pride on the faces of all of our athletes and family members, coaches, and can feel the energy and excitement. So I know everyone's got a lot of enthusiasm right now, but it also is a responsibility, right? Each one of you and us as an organization, we've created a platform here. So this isn't just a chance to compete at the highest level. It's a chance to kind of share our story, and we really have a strong obligation to do that. Special Olympics has always been free to our athletes. We never charge our athletes, and certainly that doesn't change here. But this is an extraordinary event. It costs a lot of money to send a team here, and as you could see, that we're not just sending a handful of athletes. We've got a really large delegation. So this will be about a $500,000 venture for the organization to put this team together, uniform it, create the transportation, and certainly pay the registration fees and everything to be a part of the game. There's no individual responsibility here, but we all have a commitment to be brave in the attempt and do our best to go share our story fundraising isn't just about covering the cost of travel or uniforms. It's about building community. And as all of you know, for every one athlete here in the state of Pennsylvania, there's 26 still on the sidelines who would benefit from our programs, much less dream about the opportunity to go to a USA Games or World Games. So we don't just owe it to our teammates here on Team PA, we owe it to those athletes and communities that we still need to do a better job of creating more opportunities for our athletes to make sure we leverage this opportunity to its fullest. So it's about how do we connect with our neighbors? How do we connect with our classmates, our coworkers, our friends, to make sure we tell this story? And when people do give, and they will give, they're not giving to you. That's not just asking for dollars. That you're asking for a statement, right? You're asking for a statement that they believe in you, they believe in this mission, they believe in what we're doing as an organization, and they want to be a part of it. So this is our chance. We need to make sure we leverage this opportunity, and lean into it, not with fear, but pride. We're not asking people to give. We're asking people to invite and be a part of our journey here. So our team is going to work really, really hard to create a lot of content and resources to make sure that it's easy for us to tell this story and help open doors. We're going to work really hard to work with a lot of great corporate partners to help us. But we want to make sure this is an opportunity that we really lean into to really expand the Special Olympics Pennsylvania community as a part of the legacy of this Team PA. So Andrew's going to walk you through some of the things that we've already done and give you a glimpse into the future.
Thanks, Nate. Congratulations, everyone. Welcome to Team PA. I know you'll do a great job representing the Commonwealth out in Minnesota. As Bruce said, I'm Vice President of Strategic Partnerships for SOPA. In Minnesota, I'll be Assistant Technical Delegate at the softball venue. So I'm looking forward to a day off, maybe a little rain, so I can see you all compete in other sports. But congratulations. We're excited to be on this journey with you. And as Nate said, we're here to support you in any way we can, as well as our regional staff working alongside you. So Bruce, I'm on my iPad, so if you don't mind pulling up the Team PA website there, goteampa.org. This is really the homepage, if you will, to our fundraising efforts and the different activities we will do to raise funds to support you all and the other SOPA athletes in our mission of inclusion here. So we will use those. You might just have to go to a browser, Bruce, and type it in. Thanks, Haley. We will use those profiles that have been put in the chat to capture some information and share athlete stories on this page. You might be familiar with this page because when we launched the selection show, we also sent this page out. So remember that link, goteampa.org. We'll keep reminding you of that and ask you to share that on your social media pages, share that with family and friends as we continue this journey. Thanks, Haley. Going back to the PowerPoint, just a couple things to start considering in our fundraising journey for Team PA. I don't think Nate mentioned, but it cost us about $500,000 to take this trip all in. So it's expensive, but we're happy to do it. We're excited to do it, and we want to do it the right way. So just start thinking of ways where you can leverage your community, your role on Team PA. You're an ambassador. You're a member of something really special. So use your brand, use your social media to share your story and your experience with Special Olympics, especially as we get closer to going out to Minnesota. I would ask you to consider ways to fundraise, if it's hosting a mini event, doing something in your local community to highlight Team PA athletes, Special Olympics athletes in this journey. Consider maybe working with your regional staff to do that. So we'll make sure, if you're not connected with your regional development directors or executive director, to connect you so you can work together collaboratively to support Team PA. The last thing I would say is one of the fun things that I like to do at SOPA is gear, if you know me. So we'll be working on a holiday gear store, and we would ask you to spread the word to your family and friends. That'd be a great holiday gift as we get towards the end of the calendar season, and a great way to support our efforts for our trip to Minnesota. So all in all, we're here. We want to be partners in this work, and we want to represent all the Special Olympics Pennsylvania athletes with this trip. So any help that you can provide in our fundraising efforts would be greatly appreciated. Coaches, volunteers, thanks for all you do. We're grateful.
Great, thanks. Really appreciate it, Nate and Andrew. Thanks for joining tonight. I'm going to turn it over to Haley to talk about some additional resources and places that you can go to find out more information.
Thanks, Bruce. Yeah, so on our SOPA website, there is a USA Games webpage. We are in the process of getting that updated with all of our rosters, but also your bios. So another plug to please get your bios in. We want to make sure everyone knows about you. So that will be updated on our SOPA page, and I can drop some of these links into the chat, but Bruce will also be sending all of this out. USA Games also has a webpage, so if you want to learn more about the venues or the location, you can visit the SONA USA Games webpage. Also, we haven't been given that much information about family stuff just yet, but they have started to slowly post some hotels. So we will share all information as we get it from SONA with our athletes and their families and all of our unified partners and coaches. So more to come for sure there as we get more family resources, but there is at least a place to start for right now. And then we are going to have a Team PA Facebook group. This group will be open to all of our athletes, coaches, and their families. It is a private group, so I'm going to drop the link in the chat. You can request to join it. A couple things, if your name is different on Facebook than it is on our roster, if you can just drop that in the chat, or you can shoot me an email if we haven't let you in and it's been a couple days since you've requested. We're just trying to match who's actually on Team PA, so that way all of you folks get into the group, and it's a great way for athletes to communicate, to get to know each other. We'll be putting announcements and engagement opportunities in there. Parents, guardians, it's a really great way for you to connect as well. Especially if any of you are planning on going down to not down, sorry, that was Florida, out to Minnesota as well. So you can feel free to chat, ask questions, post topics, all of that. Again, if you have any issues joining, my email's there. And then lastly, there is a 2026 USA Games Facebook page as well. So hopefully you're already following the SOPA channels, and then you'll want to go follow this page so that way you can get all the updates from Special Olympics North America.
Thanks, Haley. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, before we get into coaches meetings and who we are, just want to talk about some upcoming meetings and how we'll be communicating more information, making sure that we're communicating everything that we need to all Team PA members, including families. This meeting is like an all Team PA meeting, right? Everyone part of Team Pennsylvania is on this meeting. We will be holding these every other month. So the next all Team PA meeting will be held Thursday, June 19th at 7 o'clock. I will share that in my recap email, as well as the registration information as well. For the coaches, we will be hosting Team PA coaches meetings every other month. That first meeting will be Thursday, July 17th at 7 o'clock. Again, I will share this information with everyone in my recap email. So I'm going to open it up right now to see if we have any questions in the chat before we move on. Break, just looking. 14 months to go. We answered that there. Haley put the USA Games profile in there. Again, I'll be sharing that with my recap. Are we taking a bus? It depends. We'll be taking an airplane to Minnesota. But for training camp, we'll be taking buses or vans. So we will have a transportation plan to get everyone to training camp. Uniforms. Yeah, Gabe, I think you're asking about numbers on uniforms, so we'll take requests and things like that. We did secure a vendor for our uniforms that Bryn and the marketing team are currently working with to make sure that we're outfitted with the nicest uniforms possible. We saw the Team PA logo, so I know that they'll look incredible on our uniforms. Team PA Facebook page, Haley, appreciate you dropping that in there. Again, I'll share more information in my recap email coming up. So if anyone has any additional questions, if you want to unmute, you can ask any questions that you have at this time before we go into our breakout rooms.
Bruce, before we go to, I want you to get rid of that screen so I can see everybody. I need a screenshot of everybody excited about Team PA. I continue to work on my own social media game, so I want to post about this amazing team tomorrow on LinkedIn. So I need a really good shot here.
I was going to say it'd be great if I could get everyone on the screen. You good there, Nate?
Yep, let's just
Okay,
let's
cool.
prompt everyone for some excitement here.
Yeah, I was going to say we put our hands in the air again. Now we can clap and be loud. Look how excited they are, Nate. That's going to be an awesome
Hey,
picture.
keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going here.
Look at them. There's
Keep it
teams
going.
together, families, unified partners, coaches.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, we're good.
It's bringing a tear to my eye, Nate. Brings me back to that Celebrity show when I got to see everyone. I'm just going to sit here and look at everyone. This is just incredible how excited everyone is. Before we go into our breakout rooms, though, anyone have any additional questions?
I have
know
a
it's still-
question.
Yeah, fire away.
It probably, I mean, I'm probably not the only one, but like some people play other sport, but like for NetEO, some people go to Penn State NetEO. Would some people will we not allow to go to Penn State NetEO?
I'm not sure about that. If our
So Penn
team
State in
will
June
get a bid to
NetEO.
go to summer
For-
games next year.
Yeah, that was to
Yeah, we did it
yeah.
back in 2022, only because we actually left from Penn State, just because of the timing.
Yeah, I just wondering to not till we have to get coaching. No, we won't be able to go to our sport we going to we play for.
Yeah.
See you still.
All right. Any other questions before I hand it over to Jesse and Haley?
Yeah, just one more question. I want to continue with that the uniforms. So how can we request a number to you guys so you could know what size and what number,
Yeah, so
yeah.
good question, Gabe. So a couple of different things. We are working with unified uniform vendor right now. We look to have samples of the uniforms at training camp. So that way we can try them on. As part of the registration process, we will collect that information from either yourself or from your coach. Gabe, knowing you, right, you're on a team sport, so I'll be able to get that information from your coaches. So once we get closer to training camp, we'll collect that information. Like I just mentioned, the registration for Team PA is now open. What that means is we're now putting all our team rosters and coaches, all the athletes, unified partners into the registration system for USA Games. And that system closes in October. So by then we'll have all your information. But look to collect all your uniform sizes and that kind of thing at training camp. A couple other surprises with uniforms and fun activities that we're doing, but I'm not going to spoil it here, but we want to make sure that we're having a fun time at training camp, but not only a fun time, but we want to get to know you, making sure that you're a good fit for Team Pennsylvania. Get to know you, have the coaches get to know you, try to do some fun things as far as headshots and some other cool things. So I'll just leave it at that. But to answer your question, we'll be doing uniform fittings and all that at training camp.
Yeah, thank you so much. Seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun for the road to USA Games.
No doubt. Thanks, Gabe. All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure.
So, I'm not exactly sure how that whole training camp thing works, because I think I may be interested in it, for real.
What sport are you in?
I'm doing flag football.
Flag football. So we'll work with Glenn and your coaches there in Northampton. Training camp is a 2-day event that we'll be doing August 2nd and August 3rd on the campus of Messiah. We're still working on what the itinerary looks like, but at that, you'll have the opportunity to meet all of us in person. We'll do some team building activities. We'll have some professionals come in, talk to us about competing, making ourselves better, the grind of getting ready and preparing for Team Pennsylvania. So we'll be doing that at training camp. I will have more information on the specifics of training camp on our next all team PA call, which will take place in June.
Oh, yeah, well, thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
I think there was a good question here in the chat. Well, that's a good question there, and that's as Nate and Andrew just got talked about our campaign. Celine looking for some sneakers, so we're looking to outfit Team PA the best we can. Bryn is, I think Bryn mentioned that she was working on uniforms and things like that. So we did kind of prod and give a little nudge to Nate and Andrew to see if that's possible. Celine, I can't guarantee anything, but we want to make sure that we're the best dressed.
Celine, you got the right guys on the job. We're gonna raise a lot of money. You guys are gonna be outfitted to the nines, especially with Andrew. I mean, my goodness, that guy shows up with new gear, new swag every day. So there's no doubt you're gonna get it.
Just thought I'd ask.
Absolutely. Great question, right? That's awesome. We want to make sure we're the best dressed there at USA Games. All right, so if there's no other questions, we're going to
Hey, Bruce.
fire away.
Hey, I want to let you know my email changed.
All right, can you who is this? I can't.
It's
Sheena
Sheena.
Black?
I'll get
Oh,
it from
Sheena?
you, Sheena, and
Okay.
I'll take care of that, Bruce.
I have
Perfect.
it already.
All right, great. Yep, we'll make sure that we get the information, but I'm glad that you got the information to be on tonight. So thank you for doing that.
Hey, Bruce, you see what I have around my neck?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I see that. Congratulations. I remember
Yeah,
your
3 gold
unveiling at
medals,
was it Winter
buddy.
Games? Your announcement. That was cool.
Yeah, I did the 800-meter run, 1,500-meter run, and a shot put.
Nice. All right, so what a great first meeting. It was great to see everyone. Look how fired up those folks are over there. That's awesome. If you do have any additional questions, please reach out to me, reach out to your head coach. You can certainly email myself, Jesse, or Bryn with any questions that you may have. As we as a leadership team do get more information, we'll be sure to send that out to you. Again, we want to make sure that we're communicating as much as possible with the coaches, athletes, unified partners, as well as parents. Haley did mention about parents. They're supposed to release some information to us later in 2025 with more specific information. But again, hopefully you'll use some of those resources to answer any questions that you may have. Great seeing everyone tonight. Jesse, I'm going to turn it over to you just to get us kicked off for the next portion.
Yeah, so we're gonna do some breakout rooms. This is how the meeting will end. We're not gonna come back here together as a group. So you're actually gonna break out into your individual sports. You're gonna get to meet with your teammates and your coaches. And we just want you to go through some questions we have on the screen here. Bruce, do you know, will this screen transfer to their breakout rooms? Or should the coaches like take a picture real quick?
You picture.
Yeah, coaches, maybe if you're on, just take a quick picture of this. We do ask the coaches lead their breakout rooms, get to know your athletes, introduce one another, and just have some fun. We're going to have a lot of communication over the next 18 months, and this is a good way to start, just to get to know one another and start off on a good foot for Team PA. So I think Haley has the breakout rooms here. So in a couple, maybe a minute or so, you'll all be pushed out to your own little breakout room. And as soon as everyone's in there, coaches go ahead and lead the way.
Zoom it in.
Thanks, Jesse. I am going to send everybody out. It should be by sport. There are some folks whose name doesn't, like, you may be on a different account, so your name's a little different. So you can also find your sport and join that room. But if you need any help, just let me know. But we'll see if anyone is left here when I send you out.
Congratulations, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening.